When you see any outfit, the clothes that they have on have many stories to tell. And the stories of the clothes at Mosaic Collective and Threaded here in Lynchburg tell a mission of empowerment and sustainability. We're having a great mission. They have a need of support of an upcoming campaign that puts this business right in the center of the city. I stepped into the shop to find out more. So, one thing about me, I love some nice clothes, anything sustainable,
Yes.
and Threaded is doing that here. So can you tell me about what Threaded is and just everything you do?
Yeah, definitely. So Threaded is a secondhand or thrift store, technically, but on the looks of it, it doesn't actually look like a thrift store. So our goal at Threaded is to make everything beautiful, to be that higher end boutique style feel when you walk into the store, but you're actually getting clothing pieces ranging from size extra small to size 3XL that are brands that are higher end, that are from whether it be a Target brand all the way up to Free People or Anthropology, from prices from $5 all the way up to $50, but we're really giving the community the ability to shop more sustainable and shop in a secondhand manner. So it's better for the environment, better for the community even in that way, and they're able to stop fast fashion practices. What I mean by that is slowing the pace of their shopping. So yeah.
Yes, and one thing about me, I love good thrift, so you will be seeing me up in the store for sure. And I know you mentioned like Anthropology and some other big names. Can you name a couple more that people may find and they're like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what this brand is and I love it?
Yes, so we have Free People, Anthropology, we have Madewell, Lululemon, Athleta, Nike, Adidas. Yeah, brands like that, all the brands that Anthropology sells as well, Everlane, all that good stuff.
Yes, and I know this long-term goal for you is to buy back from the community. Tell me about that too.
Yeah, so I have a lot of experience in working in secondhand stores, and so and I've always loved thrifting. I've always loved being able to sell my clothes and get money back for that. And so the goal in that regard is to be able to buy back from the community eventually, so that they're able to lessen what they have in their closet and buy newer pieces to them. And so it's a circular fashion cycle, actually, rather than it being this huge cycle of just continual buying. Instead, you're able to actually sell back to us, and so we would be able to give you a percentage of the money that we would be able to price it at, and then from there you could get either store credit towards the store or just cash back, and then you're able to shop in the store too.
All right, so we're still talking about sustainability, and I know fast fashion is on a rise right now, but I think it's just good to have that clothing rotation. So can you tell me about how important it is to keep sustainable clothes?
Yeah, so fast fashion, like you said, is on the rise. There's brands like Shein, for example, that many people will know is an online retail brand. And what I like to tell people is that cheap items always come at a cost to somebody else. So we might be getting these clothes for a really, really cheap cost and then recycling them back into probably landfills in Haiti, for example, that really aren't benefiting the people there. They want to be able to make their own clothes. They want to be able to have their own independence. And we're taking that away from them when we push everything into their landfills and they just have these stockpiles of items. Yeah, it's just really important to be aware of those things, and we want to create opportunities for people to be able to find items that empower other people, but also are staying out of landfills by sourcing the secondhand items here.
Oh yeah, and keeping that conversation going about being aware. I know Mosaic Collective is aware about some things that are taking place where people who make some of these amazing items in here. Can you talk about that too?
Yeah, so everything at Mosaic Collective is made by survivors that have come out of various forms of exploitation, like sex trafficking and domestic violence, or people that are vulnerable to those situations. So they might not necessarily have been exploited, but they live in an area where they're very susceptible to that. And they make these things like the jewelry and the t-shirts you see here and these bread warmers.
Yes, and I know that there's probably I think you told me a limited edition coming with a possible capital campaign that you have with Mosaic and Threaded. Tell me about that too.
Yeah, so we are actually moving to Main Street. By October 1st is our opening date, and we are taking over 2,000 square foot spaces there. They'll be adjacent to one another. Threaded will take up one space, Mosaic will take up another. And we're setting this capital campaign to help raise funds to really start that, because these spaces are huge. We're gonna have to hire on a lot of staff, buy a lot more inventory, so the capital campaign will help us do that. And what it is it's rewards based. So based on if you give $50, you'll get a free tote that's made by survivors, and it's this custom exclusive tote that will never be sold in the shop. For $100, you're going to get a t-shirt that says Mosaic Collective, and it's exclusive again just to this campaign. And then anyone who gives $50 or more is actually going to be on our wall of world changers that's going to be featured on the other shop. Everyone will get a frame, and they'll be adjacent to all of our artisans as well. So you'll be able to see everyone that contributed to the change here in Lynchburg and in the whole entire world.
And if you would like to support this local campaign, you can scan the QR code that is on the right side of the screen. They are taking donations, and I know you do not want to miss out on limited edition merch. But in the meantime, if you want to shop, you can currently find Mosaic Collective and Threaded off of 5th Street in Lynchburg, then head for hours and more to mosaicco.org.